Hey guys, I'm Blessed Data here with another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing a Toy Biz Marvel Legend. This is the Marvel Legends Series 6 Juggernaut. And this is one of the most sought after figures in the Marvel Legends line. One of the best in my opinion, and one of the bulkiest, obviously, you can tell. But yeah, this figure's really cool, and he's pretty hard to find. Not incredibly hard to find, but you can still find him. But yeah, I decided that I'm going to start reviewing the older Marvel Legends figures just because I love those ones so much more than the newer ones. So I'm going to just be reviewing the ones that are my favorite throughout my channel. So subscribe for more videos that will be progressively coming out of all of these older Marvel Legends figures that are amazing. So like I said, this time we got Juggernaut, so let's take a closer look at him, and we'll see what he's all about. The paint apps and sculpt of Marvel Legends Toy Biz has never been matched in my opinion. Just so amazing. All the detail throughout this figure is awesome. You can see the sculpts are really great for all these figures. You can even see his veins all on his arms, which is awesome with his huge arms. Huge hands right here. It's crazy. All the detail you can just take a look at here. You can see that the paint, they did a dry brush to make it look like a lot of the paint on his metal has rubbed off, so it looks really authentic, looks really awesome. You can see there, so it really looks like metal, but there's shading throughout the whole figure. Really awesome. Of course, he's gonna have big feet so he can support this huge figure, and yeah, so great sculpt, great figure overall, but really nice sculpt in my opinion. And he is really stubby, I guess. But that's how Juggernaut's really supposed to be. But representations of him now are more taller, more bulkier, taller, and then just really huge. This one is more of the classic Juggernaut look, where it's more short but huge, wide. If you understand what I'm saying, because if you look at the older X-Men comics, this is exactly how he looks, almost to a T. But now they changed his look a little bit more, but I really like this one. It really works well if you have the other X-Men figures. They look perfect together. And another cool thing about this figure is that his helmet actually does come off. So you can see this awesome head sculpt here. Really great head sculpt, as you can see. I don't know. These figures' sculpts are so awesome. It's even got some detail underneath the helmet right here. You can see his veins. Yeah, I really like the sculpt. You can even see that there's his skin has texture to it. And it's just really awesome. Really awesome figure. And the helmet kind of goes on a little weird. Just let it focus. There's two peg holes on the side here. And you can see that there's a peg on his helmet on both sides. So it kind of just slides in. And I don't know, it's not very secure. All the figures are like this. It's just not really secure. You just kind of have to get it in right, but you can see his face through the helmet, and it just looks so menacing, so sick. Just such a cool figure, and I can understand why this is one of the most sought after Marvel Legends, just because it's such a crazy figure, and it's just such an ambitious sculpt that a lot of other toy companies wouldn't really go for a sculpt such a different sculpt for such a cool figure. And I think that when Toy Biz made this, they knew that they probably weren't going to use this mold again, because really you can't use this mold for anyone else, because no one else really has elongated arms and stuff like that other than Juggernaut. So I think they were really going to go for something unique, because they knew they weren't going to use it again. So I really like what they did about this, but let's get into the articulation now. So for articulation, if you take off the helmet, his head can go up a little bit, down a little bit, and side to side, so that's pretty good. His arms are on a ball joint, so they can go in and out, up and down, all around. And it has a really cool joint right here that makes it pops out, so it gives it an extra range of motion there, as you can see. He's got a swivel on his upper arm thing right there. He's got a single jointed elbow, which a lot of the bigger figures have single jointed elbows. Does he have a swivel here? Yep, he has a swivel on his wrist almost. It's more than his wrist, but he has a joint on his wrist, like a full joint. all his fingers are articulated, so his thumb can go like that, his hands can go like this. A lot of articulation for that. His waist is a very unique articulation. It kind of just, I don't know, just slides around, back and forth, up and down. It works okay, but like if they were to use an ab crunch on this figure, I don't think it would have worked. So it kind of works. It's weird though, but it works. But you don't get that motion where he's, you know, the ab crunch would give him where his whole front can bend down like that, but his waist can do that, so I guess it's still there. So his legs are on ball joints, so they can go in, out, up, down. Double jointed knees, which is very nice. And he's got a joint on his foot, an amazing foot pivot, or ankle rocker, or whatever, and foot articulation. So if he can go like that. So that's all the articulation for this guy. But if you do put on his helmet, it does hinder it a little bit. His head, it hinders, but you can turn his head and just turn the helmet. So I guess it still counts. But yeah, like always, Toy Biz Marvel Legends articulation never fails. It's always amazing, their articulation. I really can't think of any figure where I really hate the articulation in a Toy Biz mold, because they're all very, very good articulation. But yeah, so that's basically it for the figures. So let's look at the one accessory he comes with. So like always, every Marvel Legends figure comes with a comic book, and like I said, this is the older ones. Usually comes with a comic book. All of them came with a comic book, the Toy Biz ones. That's an awesome feature that I love. I wish they did now, but they don't. And they usually come with at least one accessory, and it's usually a very cool base. And with Juggernaut, that's the case. He has this cool base where it's a gate, and it looks like he ran right through it and destroyed this gate. As you can see, it's all mangled, everything. Looks really cool. It's got two pegs right here. As you can see, one's right here for his feet. Kind of works, doesn't. And it's really nice base, and you can hang it on the wall, so that's just an added bonus. Most of these bases you can hang on the wall, so you can have like a whole wall of figures. I've seen a couple of people do that, and it works out really well. But there's something very cool about this that I'll show you right now. You might not be able to read this on the camera, but I'll read it for you right here. It says Xavier's Institute for the Gifted Youngsters, and it actually has an address and everything, New York, everything. That is so cool that they would just add that really cool detail right on this base here. So that's something very cool that just adds another feature to this that just makes it so cool. Like, the detail in this base is actually very nice, and that just gives it another added bonus. And that's what I love about Toy Biz. They have all these little things that are just really cool that they put in, and the little things really give it what makes it awesome. I think details are what make every figure awesome. But you can see in here, all the paint on here is awesome. It's nice. There was a nice dry brush of white on the rocks. Makes it look very, very nice. It's all cracked and everything. It looks so cool, and you can see that it looks like a rusty color. The gate has like a rusty color. Even has a gate lock on it. So I'm really satisfied with this base. Usually am when it comes with these figures, but this base is awesome. I think the only real downside to this base is that Juggernaut is such a huge figure that it almost looks like it's too small, but it really isn't compared to any other figure. So the base works really well. It's just that it looks a little small with Juggernaut. You know, you can have him running through it, punching through it, so it still works, but it's just a little small compared to him, as you can see right here. If he's standing fully upright, he's a lot bigger than this base. He's off screen, actually. Yeah, a lot bigger than this base. So that's the one downside to this base, but it's not a real big deal because, you know, you can have him punching someone through the gate or something like that, and it works out really well. So that's really cool. For a quick size comparison, I got two of the newer Marvel Legends, so you know it's easier to get your hands on these figures, so you can kind of tell. Here's the new Iron Man and the new Pile Driver. They work really nice together. But as you can see, he's a lot bigger than both of these figures, even though the Wrecking Crew member over here is, in Hasbro standards, is a huge figure. You can tell that he is like 3 times bigger than him, and you can see how much bigger he is compared to Iron Man too. I mean, if Hasbro came out with this figure, let's say Toy Biz never came out with this figure, and Hasbro made this figure, guarantee 100% it would be a Build-A-Figure. There's no way that they would put out this figure single-carded. It's just, it would not happen today, and that's why I love these figures The older Marvel Legends so much more than the newer ones. The paint are superior, sculpt is superior, articulation is superior, everything is superior. But you know, the secondary market, it's a high price now for these figures because you can't find them anymore. But for me, it really is worth it. But it's really up to you. So overall, this is a great figure. Really recommend it. But is it worth all the money that it goes for on eBay, on the internet, anywhere? I would say half yes, half no. If you really like Juggernaut and you really like the X-Men, then I suggest you get this figure. Just don't overpay like by $100. Like a good price for this figure would probably be around around $50, I would say, on the secondary market. If it's anything higher than 50, I really wouldn't want to buy it, just because for $50 you can get a Play Arts figure or a SH Figure Arts figure, which are really amazing. So you can get something like that. But this figure is worth the money, in my opinion. It's just how much you like the character, really. I mean, if you have the whole X-Men Marvel Legends and you need a villain, this would be the perfect villain to get for your display. But again, this is a little kind of pricey, so it's really up to you and how much you love the character. But thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at @unblesseddata for news and cool stuff before I put them on YouTube, and just you can follow my day-to-day comic routine. So thanks guys for watching, and see you guys later.